never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
What's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy Dan, and this is going to be our quick Survivor Series reaction video. Basically, we're just going to review the show real quick. Not going to put any slides up tonight. Just didn't feel like going back through and doing any screenshots or looking for the stills anywhere. Still working on the stream stuff. That's why we didn't do a live or a watch along, but all good. So let's start off with the first match of the night was the Women's War Games with Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Io Sky, and Naomi versus Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Candice LeRae. It was a decent match. There were some botches, lots of botches, and most of it was on Nia Jax. It wasn't really a botch. It was more of, oh my god, how can I say this? Her chair shots were unbelievably soft. When she was hitting people, you didn't hear anything from the chair like you would anywhere else. And then she said, "No, bitch," and then hit her with a chair, basically giving direction towards, I think it was Naomi. But yeah, it was fun. There were some good spots in this. Honestly, Candice LeRae did a great fucking job. I was actually surprised with her. And Io Sky did another cool trash can move off the very top of the cage. I was happy with the result. Rhea came out with a awesome face mask. It just looked like it was perfectly done. It looked like something like Kane should have wore back in the day, with horns on it. 2 sets of horns, 2 coming out of her forehead, and then 2 horns, like ram's horns, that wrapped around the back of her head. It looked wicked, and it looked so cool on her. Shout out for mommy. The faces won this. Team Rhea won. Rhea won by doing Liv. The biggest qualm I'm going to have about this entire fucking match is Tiffany Stratton. They totally missed a great opportunity for her to become the women's world title from Liv. During the match, Raquel Rodriguez got handcuffed to the ropes by Rhea. And Tiffany actually teased both Liv and Nia were on the mat, and Tiffany pulled her briefcase out and was looking, and she even looked to the crowd, like, which one? And she was kind of like teasing it. And then she asked for the ref to come over there, and then that's when shit hit the fan. Raquel Rodriguez was handcuffed in the corner. After the match, they could have easily, Nia Jax and Tiffany could easily beat the shit out of all of the other girls, or just pushed them out of the cage, held and locked the cage. Tiffany her and Tiffany could beat the shit out of fucking Liv. Raquel Rodriguez wouldn't have been able to do nothing. She was still handcuffed in the corner, and then they just could have took that title from Liv. Total missed opportunity. I understand why they didn't do it. They want Liv to have that belt for her and Rhea's eventual match, so Rhea can win it back. But I just thought it was a very, very cool missed opportunity on Tiffany cashing in a great fucking moment. That would be a moment like the Seth Rollins moment at WrestleMania, where he come down and at the WrestleMania main event and won it from Brock and Roman. That we will always remember. That was one of the greatest cash in for men. This could have been one of the greatest cash in for women. You see what I'm saying? So that I thought was a missed opportunity. Complete missed opportunity. The LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Something was off. There was no chemistry. The fans weren't into it as much as I thought they would be. But I'm going to tell you this. It wasn't Shinsuke. It was LA Knight. It started when he came down to the ring, got on the apron. He even dropped his belt in a goofball moment. And to me, I was like, something's off about LA. And during this match, it was not a great match, in my opinion. It was the worst match of the night. We got no big thing, and Shinsuke won clean. So Shinsuke Nakamura is your new United States title champion. And I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is, like, LA Knight, he doesn't normally botch. He botched a few times in this match. It was a missed opportunity for him to show why he's the U.S. belt, U.S. champion, but he did. He botched a lot, and I was very surprised about that because LA Knight's usually pretty good on his game, but tonight wasn't his fucking night. I can tell you that for sure. The next match that I want to talk about before we get to that is the triple threat with Ludwig Kaiser, Sheamus, and Braun Breaker. And I actually enjoyed this match. I really did. I thought it was a good match. There's some good spots in this match. It was a no DQ. Sheamus got his ass whooped by Shillelagh from Ludwig Kaiser. He went nuts on it. But these three guys did put on a good show. It wasn't like the best match in the world, but it was a good match. But it was one of those like grudge match / like heavy hitting matches. It was not technical. It was just throwing bows, bro. It was just ready to fucking fuck some people up. And I enjoyed it. Braun Breaker is still your Intercontinental title holder. And before we get to the men's, let's talk about a Survivor Series War Games, Damian Priest and GUNTHER for the World Heavyweight title. I enjoyed this match. I really did. I thought it was greatly done. It made Damian look very, very strong, and they've been doing that a lot lately, and I appreciate that because to me, he's coming a long way, and I enjoyed that match. GUNTHER got some good stuff in. Finn Balor did interfere in the match, and he paid for it right after. He did the coup de grace on top of Priest's chest on the outside from the stairs. And as soon as he did it, GUNTHER come out and just gave him a huge like horse drop kick. So he got fucked with it. I don't know. I can't remember if it was a drop kick or was it just a fucking throw. It was something. I think it was a boot. Maybe in a boot. I don't know. But GUNTHER got Damian back in the ring, and then all of a sudden he put him in a submission, and Damian went to sleep. He went night-night. It was a good match. Damian Priest still looked very strong, and GUNTHER still looked... It made him look a little stronger, but he had help, but also it gained points to me when he kicked Finn Balor. So I thought that was great. So I enjoyed that match. It wasn't match of the night. It was a good match. But the men's War Games match was phenomenal to me, and you guys know why. They start off the Bloodline and Bronson Reed came out in unified fashion. They all came out together. They all was repping each other. They sent Tama Tonga down to the cage, and they got locked into the shark cage. And then when Tama Tonga got down to the cage, it was fucking hilarious. He went inside and started going, shh. Yeah. And this motherfucker climbed around the entire fucking cage. Like, monkey bar climbed it. She was fucking hilarious. It was hilarious to me. He just looked crazy, but it was one of those things that just added to his character, and I thought it was great. I did. I thought it was fucking fantastic. Next, we got Jimmy comes out. Sammy comes out. Punk comes out. And when Punk comes out, he walks right over to the cage where the New Bloodline's locked up in the shark cage, and he face shoves Bronson Reed and starts kicking at it. And those guys in that cage Jacob climbed it and was like trying to kick him through. He was like, come over here. And then Jimmy joined in with him. It was hilarious. It was fucking funny. And even Cole goes, oh, Punk's always starts some shit. I thought it was great. I thought that was a phenomenal. I'm a CM Punk fan, and that made me laugh so hard. And then Roman came out. He gave a hug to Jimmy, gave a hug to Sammy, looked at Punk, and then they got into the thing. I was like, oh, wait, where's Jay? And they let Jay come out last and let him do his entrance where he comes through the crowd. And they did shots, and you could see even Solo was smiling. Jacob was smiling. Jimmy was loving it. He just kept looking around. Roman was looking around like, this is what I'm talking about. Sammy was like, yeah. And Punk was even like, wow. The place was nuts for Jay, sorry. So Jay gets in there to start the match out, and we go. They lost the match on Friday to see who would have the advantage. Every video, I swear, I yawn, I swear. And the next one that came out was Bronson Reed. So you had Jay taking on Tama Tonga and Bronson. Then Jimmy went. So you had this back and forth for those guys in the ring. It was great. Oh, then who was it? Then it was, let's say, Bronson Reed. And then it was, Tama Tonga, then Jay, and then you had Bronson Reed, then Jacob, then Sammy. Well, Punk was going to go out, and Roman grabbed Punk like he did that one like last year, was like, and he pointed at Sammy, and Sammy left. Sammy was like, oh shit, okay. And it was very interesting. Sammy's ring attire, one side it said Sammy Uso, and the other had the Chicago Stars down it. So I thought that was kind of cool. Him and Punk's had history, and but everyone went ooh, and then when they shut the door, Punk was looking at Roman. It was just Roman and him in the cage. So Punk was not happy. They get in there, do their shit, and then his Tanga Loa went in, and then the door opened up for one of the faces to come out. And Roman starts to walk out. He was going to make Punk come out last. And Roman was doing that small, that very mindful, very slow walking, that that money shot, and Punk just went right past him. Pissed Roman off. Punk gets down to the ring, and the entire New Bloodline, in dominant fashion, were sitting there waiting on him. So he was looking around, looked back at Roman, looked around the crowd, come down off the steps, and people started booing him. And then they're like, wait a minute, what's he doing? He went under the ring, and he brought out a motherfucking toolbox. It was the last time we saw Punk wrestle, him and Drew McIntyre, and he had a toolbox, and he fucked Drew McIntyre up. He made him bleed with it. Punk went in there and went fucking crazy with the toolbox. He beat this shit out of everyone for about a minute with that fucking toolbox. And then Jacob happened. Jacob got him. Everybody was getting fucked up besides the New Bloodline. They were being the dominant force. Solo comes out. He walks over to Roman. Basically says, you're fucking done. I'm going to show you what a real tribal chief and how he leads his people does. So he gets in, goes down, he goes under the ring, and he grabs a chain. He comes in, and they just dominate everybody. And then, right before Roman's supposed to come down, Solo puts the chain through the door and locks it. And it's like, you can't come in, Roman. So his plan was not to let Roman come in, for them to beat the shit out of everybody. And then Roman can't get in there, and when they finally get in there, it'd be 5-on-1. But Roman comes down. He couldn't get that. I thought he was going to do the rip of a panel off. Didn't happen. So he started climbing. And I was like, Roman Reigns is climbing over a cage to get in the fight. 5 dudes waiting on him. Fucking epic. He gets up there. He beats everybody. He finally gets down on the ground. They're beating everybody up. And then finally, CM Punk and Roman look at each other. Like, Roman helps up Jimmy. He helps up Sammy. He looks at Punk. Shrugs him off. And then here comes Paul. CM Punk got up by himself. He looks at Roman. Him and Roman are just going back and forth. And then you hear Paul. And I'm like, oh, finally, Paul Heyman's here. So he's yelling at them. He's like, Phil, best in the world. My tribal chief. Basically said, we're not going to win if y'all can't stay on the same page for at least this one little bit. Punk and Roman looked at each other and just did the head nod, and it was off to the races. They started doing all types of good shit. I was afraid that Punk was going to get hurt. I really was. He had a person up on his shoulders to give the go to sleep, and then Roman went to go spear Solo. Solo moved out of the way, and I thought maybe he hyperextended his leg or something because he was on the ground. So everybody's beating up. Jacob goes to do his moonsault, and he does the pop-up, jumps up, and then when he hits the top, I don't know if he slipped. I don't know if a tendon popped or something, or he twisted his knee or something, but he fell and was holding his leg, and he was screaming in pain. So Jacob Fatu may be actually hurt. Don't know. They did put him on a table. Jimmy did climb to the top of the cage and did his splash. We got a lot of Uso tag team moments again, and they haven't missed a beat. I mean, they're brothers, of course. They're never going to miss a beat. They're one of the greatest tag teams of all time. I will say that right now. I don't care what anybody says. They are the greatest tag team of all time, in my opinion. Were they revolutionary? Kind of, because they were a tag team that has always been together for so long before the split. So yeah, I think they're the greatest tag team of all time. I will say that. You can argue with me, sit down in the comments, but that's just how I feel. I have a lot of respect for those guys. Jimmy got hurt after he did the splash. Supposedly he broke his toe, so he was limping a little bit. Finally, to the end of the match, basically everyone's down besides Solo and the faces. The OG bloodline with Punk surround him. Solo got 2 different super kicks. He got one from he got 4 super kicks. He got one from each of Jimmy and Jay, then them together. Then he got a haluva kick from Sammy. Punk gave him the go to sleep, and then Roman speared him for the 1, 2, 3. End of War Games. OG Bloodline wins. No Ubafala in sight. Paul is still on the outside. Everyone but Punk goes and hugs Roman. They do the whole family hug thing. And then I thought it was very telling. Every single one of them went over to Punk besides Roman. Punk gave Jimmy the good bro, thanks bro. He hugged Jay, because him and Jay are really good friends in real life. Like, they hang out. And Sammy, he shook his hand and gave him a hug. Those two had beef back in the day, or has some issues. Sammy's not one to hold grudges. Punk is. And I think they finally worked it out. So, there you go. Then they do a group hug with Punk. Yeah, and Roman just stared and looked at him like, what the fuck are you doing? He was not happy about that at all. Wasn't happy. They're doing their little, camera going around the whole ring kind of thing, and then all of a sudden you hear Sammy and Roman talking. He's like, he came out, he did this for you. He came and helped us. He did it for Paul. That's his friend. He did it with best intentions. That's all I'm saying. He helped us win. Without him, we wouldn't be here. That's all I'm saying. And then Roman walks over to Punk, offers him the hand. Punk shakes his hand. They start exiting the ring. Paul Heyman's out there. He gives Jay a hug. Punk comes down the stairs, hugs Paul. They have a talk back and forth. And he's like, I'm here for you. And they both said, I love you. And then Punk goes, there's going to be a day where I do come back and ask for that favor, but I'll let you know. And Paul was like, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Jimmy gave Jimmy a hug, and then he shook Sammy's hand and hugged Sammy. And Sammy's like, thank you for everything you've done for me. And then Roman comes down, and this is very telling. He doesn't hug Paul. He just puts his hand on the side of his face, like, thank you, and then walks away. Another big telling thing is Punk left. Punk walked all the way up the ramp by himself. Him and Paul. So then it was the OG bloodline. Roman was way ahead of him. He stopped, looked back, and he waited on them to get to even to him. See, we're normally seeing Roman being the leader, the tribal chief, and they follow him. For some reason, Roman stops, turns around, looks at everybody else, waits on them, and then they all walk up equally. And then Punk and Paul come back from the back again. They come out for a photo op. Everybody throws the ones up besides Paul Heyman and Punk. Paul Heyman does the solo thing, and Punk does his go to sleep things, and we're off. Then in the back room, we had the press conference. And I've been to a couple press conferences, and it's, to me, here's my thing. This was, I don't know if these were softball questions or these are questions they hand WWE and they, said, yeah, you can ask this question. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're screening the questions, but I will tell you this. It was just, maybe I just overthink it, but I think some of the reporters out there that do reports on wrestling and they come and ask these questions are fucking stupid. They ask the stupidest fucking questions in the fucking world. Oh my God. MVP said it the best the other night. He's like, don't fucking answer that question. That's what should have happened tonight. We should have had someone like MVP Center. That's a dumbass question. Next. That's what we should have happened. So, sorry, my beard's growing out and it's getting itchy and long. I need to shave. It's been a long week. I just haven't felt like doing it. But I digress. Punk went to the scrum with the bloodline. Punk was asked a question and he said no comment. And it was about Roman and he just said no comment. So I still think there's some issues there, some underlying issues there. I don't know if it's still an issue with them three or what, but all I know is this is we have not seen the last of this. We're going to have a Roman and Punk feud down the road, and I'm here for it. I told you I'm a CM Punk fan. I cannot wait to hear what happens on Monday, because Punk's going to come out there and say some shit. So, where do we go from here? Is it the new bloodline still together? Is it the old bloodline? I think now we're going to get to, we had War Games. I think we're actually going to have a bloodline civil war. You know what I mean? I think we're going to have tribal combat from Solo and Roman. And that's going to kick off the road to WrestleMania for The Rock and Roman. Hell, Punk might even be, Cody might be in this. We don't know. So, I'm rambling at this point. It's not that late, but at the same time, guys, tonight's PLE was, it was a 5. It was mid. It was very mid. I was very excited for this PLE. I enjoyed every match besides the LA Knight Shinsuke Nakamura. And I'm blaming that on the LA Knight. I don't give a shit. He botched that whole fucking match to me. I don't know what was off about it, but it just, something wasn't right. I don't know if he got pissed off because he was losing the belt. They told him he was losing the belt or something. He got mad about it. And he just said fucking shit on the match. I don't know. But it was not great. It was not a good match. It was not a great atmosphere to be in. And everybody I watched the PLE with said the same thing. Like, dude, what's going on with that guy? I'm like, tonight's an off night for him, I guess. But how you guys like the PLE? Was it good for you? Was it boring for you? Did you not watch it because you weren't interested? What matches were you interested in? What matches made you happy? What matches made you pissed off? AKA LA Knight. I'm gonna fucking say it a lot. LA Knight. Suck dick. Fuck him. There's something wrong with him for tonight. I don't know what the hell to do. I'm rambling, but at the same time, thank you guys for coming out. We did a small podcast this morning. It wasn't this morning. It was like this afternoon. It started around 4:30ish. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. Check it out. There's 2 parts to it because we have some technical difficulties. It happens. I hope everyone had a great holiday. I hope everyone got to eat tons and tons of good food. I hope everyone is blessed and the families are healthy. And thank you for coming and watching the channel. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
In my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la.